it's just a cloud recording. Welcome. Maybe it's this that I need. Mic is muted. Okay, well, what the fuck ever. I think it's going.
We're live.
Are we live? Live.
Feels live.
Damn, we've been live for like forever. It caught that first part. Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your MOCA Town Hall. This is a copy of your MOCA Weekly Town Hall because we don't have our senior restream technologist, Cohen the writer. So I will be standing in Colborne the writer, even though I don't write. And I guess I have to do the thing where I say, Daim, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Great. Renee, how are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm good. A bit
Cool.
exhausted, but we did lots of improvements on Cortex and almost ready to go. Actually, like the repository is already public.
Tight. So if you know what a repository is, get on over to the Museum of Crypto Art GitHub and check it out. We have assembled very quietly in the background what we think is the most comprehensive crypto art knowledge graph, which is meant to bring context to our little corner of the internet and the totality of your work or the work that sits in your collection.
Well said.
Is there anything else you want to share about it at this point?
I think we are going to post like a more substantial introduction about the whole thing with all the links and stuff over the next couple of days. But we can already tease out things and talk about stuff while we are waiting for our chief writer to finish the thread.
Yeah, I don't want that. It's a tough job. Writing is a tough job.
It's true. We always take it for granted when you have like such a dope writer.
Yeah. I like thinking about things, but I really hate trying to put them into words. It is what it is.
Should I share my screen and then
yes,
talk
great
a bit
idea.
about Cortex?
Yeah, let's see it.
Because it did blow my mind. The latest version is sick. Shared the screen. Add to the scene.
Yeah, yesterday we've been like tinkering a lot with like setups via Hermes agent, where you can plug. Like we have like a skill for Cortex where you can plug the system into your Hermes agent. Like Cortex basically is an institutional knowledge management system or an institutional memory system where organizations, communities, companies, in our case, a digital art museum, a digital art community can come together and pour data into a system where an AI-driven processes called a knowledge graph structure the data and organize and connect stuff. I think you've seen this when you follow our MOCA town notes. You've seen developments over the last couple months, and now we finally put this out. So from the, let me show the front end. I think it makes more sense. It's easier to understand. So this is how Cortex looks like integrated into the museum website with the data that we currently have in there. you can like talk to this vast compendium of crypto art interviews and all the Web3 crypto art related data that we already poured in to it via an interface. You can hook this into your Hermes agent to query data via those routes. And now you can also, like as a community member, log in on our website and submit documents that convey knowledge about you as an artist, so that this knowledge graph, this MOCA cortex, our instance of our own product, knows about you. And that basically allows all the all visitors of the Museum of Crypto Art website to learn about your work, learn about your persona, learn about all the stuff that you did over the past years. And yeah, it kind of allows us as a community to bring all the data together and make it available at scale.
And I think when you think about like the works that traditional museums do, this is our best shot at really looking to preserve the institutional knowledge of this space in an open source compendium that anybody can add to. As you were saying earlier, Renee, it really does speak to the very core of the Museum of Crypto Art's mission, which was, if I can paraphrase, when many voices are heard, kind of a common truth is found. And that was always our thing, to be anti, I'd say, influencer, and really look to build a system. This was 6 years ago, that was decentralized in voice. And this is our best effort to bring that to life. Common truth is found when many voices are heard. Thank you.
So while everybody else is saying crypto art is dead, MOCA is saying long live crypto art.
Yeah. I have no doubt that what happened in the buildup and through it was historical, was a very, very unique moment. It's very clear that the medium of NFT, that art preserved on the blockchain, digital art preserved on the blockchain, isn't going anywhere. And it can be frustrating at times. But kind of the Cambrian explosion that each one of us contributed to is now manifest and thriving in its own ecosystem, even if it has not taken the exact shape that many of us had hoped. It has still, in its own way, thrived.
Yeah, and I think what's important to note is that the technology that's underlying under like what we call the MOCA library is this Cortex thing. And we already like briefly mentioned that the repository is now public, which means like the entire thing is an open source technology stack where other developers can help to improve it. You can host it on your own system for free. Like we have like an agent skill where you can tell your agent to spin up an instance of Cortex and use it as like a long-term memory for your Hermes or OpenClaw agent. Like these kind of use cases are possible. And we are also going to launch a cloud service where people can pay the museum whatever amount of dollars per month, depending on the tier, to spin up a Cortex on their behalf, so they can just like get the credentials, log in, upload their documents, and yeah, vibe it into their existing websites, vibe it into their existing application stack to enrich the knowledge and the understanding of their systems with the data around their own world, and not the frontier model general knowledge that the ChatGPT base model has, or an open source model has. We combine these models with the additional layer of information or of documents that people upload into their Cortex, and then they can hook it into their website to have a chatbot, something like this, or give it to their Hermes agent and let it know what their cortex knows. We are currently still refining how exactly you interface with it, but like our latest updates is basically the flow is you throw in the cortex skill and it will ask you for an existing cortex. So what we've done internally so far is we gave it the MOCA cortex address, which is mocha.cortex.echo, and then an API key, and then it connects into it and can like query all the stuff that we currently showcase here within the Hermes interface. And at the same time, you could also tell it, as I already said, to spin up its own thing. And we believe that as we've been working towards this mission of preserving information, preserving knowledge, and make knowledge and information and memory easily queryable, we've been building up quite an expertise at the intersection of open source and AI and crypto. We are fueling this currently with Venice. So most of the intelligence load that we've been utilizing so far is coming out of Venice, which is very privacy centric, and is also under like Web3 or leadership that origins out of crypto and Web3.
Like about as Bitcoin OG as Bitcoin OG gets.
Yeah, I think like it kind of like continues to align us with the right values. Also, like the license is Apache 2.0. You can like remix all the stuff. You can write issues. You can do pull requests, and we can really like continue to build this out together. We have proper documentation. Like if you want to try to self-host it, just give it a try. You can also go to cortexskills.org. It's linked in the description and in the documentation as well, where you can just like with a single copy paste, send it to your Hermes agent, or you can copy paste into whatever other system, AI system that you have that supports skills. It's very open and very accessible and built with all of these open source interfaces in mind from ground up, basically.
Hell yeah. Where did Daim go? Sorry,
Hey.
Daim.
I'm here. No worries.
You weren't
at my phone.
You weren't actually on the thing.
I'm not sure in case you missed it or you haven't visited the
let's
website.
Let's go.
Stuff happened over
lots of stuff has been happening. We've actually been working really, really hard. It's been rather difficult to tell people what we're doing. There's not too many people coming to these shows anymore, but let's check out what's going on with these rooms.
Yeah, you can now like actually like curate stuff, optimize things, and then you can export that in Hyperfile. Like it's still in beta, but we are going to show this to you maybe another time. But the idea is that rooms have evolved as well, and like the idea of MOCA as a museum with interactive art guides and curations has also developed. So we now have the ability to hook the cortex of the museum and the knowledge around all the artists into interactive art exhibitions. Like we have betas around that as well. Like this is maybe a bit more visual and helps to understand where we are going with this whole idea of cortex. Like you can now, I'm not sure if I already changed this to production, but you can now like ask about artworks And then like have like this guide explaining stuff to you, and you will be able to like also ask about the artists.
by Zafgod, minted back in 2020.
Can you hear that?
It's a striking
Yeah,
piece, part of
I
the
can at
Genesis
least.
series here in the Agra, and it carries that specific, heavy
Yeah, me
energy
too.
of a year that felt like a fever dream for many of us. There's a certain weight to these early works, don't you think? They capture a moment when the digital and the visceral were first truly colliding. Would you like to wander a bit further into the Agra, or is there another room calling to you? So building on that, if you find yourself drifting toward another piece in this hall, just give me a name or a hint of the artist. I'm here to help you navigate the layers.
So also these tools are also obviously fully open source, and people are like, get off me!
Get out of here.
Textured resonance of a mandate.
Fuck you!
So funny. That is too funny.
Who is this?
That is, I know that piece. That piece is a very early AI work from an Australian artist who I can't remember. There are only 4 of them. And I know Art Gnome wrote something about it. They downloaded their, it's a GIF file. Maybe it's not GIFing.
Yeah, we are still like working and optimizing this part of the thing, but like Cortex is going to tie into this as well. At least on the MOCA side, we are going to enrich the knowledge of the guide and the curator that you just saw around, walking around me, with like the vast knowledge that we as a community curate. And then when you build art exhibitions using the MOCA room stack, you can also like hook your or hook the museum cortex and the knowledge into your art exhibitions, so that you make or you give your guides an understanding of Web3. We are really trying to make it very easy to use these, try to, improve the UI, UX of these things, and make things easy as possible. Yeah, it's really cool. Like it's really cool
really
what
cool.
we've been building over the last months.
I mean, you basically brought everything together in the past month or two, right?
Yeah.
All the pieces that the museum has been building all these years, and it's absolutely amazing. I think we have felt like we have been so close for probably years and years, and then suddenly to have everything like finally fall into place so quickly is magical in a way.
I mean, it's mind-blowing what has been accomplished, and now there's almost nobody around to see it.
It's true.
It's like, I think we were really good at setting out the roadmap and the vision for what we wanted to accomplish, and then actually accomplishing it. And it's funny because people were so excited about the roadmap, and then all interest in any sort of metaverse, it completely fell off. But maybe this will be the spark to get them back, because I think it's just incredible. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vision was on point from the get go, and I don't think it's any less irrelevant or significant today. Attention is clearly largely elsewhere, but then again, I guess the world is kind of burning, and
Yeah.
Can you blame them?
It's so funny, right? Because we started out just building, exhibitions for artists in 3D, and kind of marketing those solo shows, as you know so well, Daim. and then to be able to build a stack where anybody can do it, CCO, open source, with their collection, giving people these tools, it really should just have exponentiated. But maybe people just don't want to do the work. I think we're seeing a lot of questions about DAOs now, especially Bonk. That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, like that
Well,
governance proposal where they drained 20 million this week.
Oh
yeah,
God, yes.
Yeah. But maybe people just want to be told what art is good.
Yeah, I mean, like from our perspective, I think it's important to state that we would love to continue building and working towards something that is, in our opinion, good for the space, and in our opinion, would help with our core mission that we've been working towards like 5 years, since over 5 years now, which is this, like, you know, this, the many voices should be heard, and like we want to build tools so that the history cannot be redefined by those who come in and throw money at the wall and buy the attention. Like, if we can serve the tools like the MOCA library, where everybody can now submit their fair share of history, so that we really make a system, or we build up a system and curate a system together where the many voices are actually heard, and that anybody else who wants to learn about crypto art can just like hook into this compendium of knowledge, or hook their agents into the compendium of knowledge to research the, you know, accumulated and aggregated information that we as a community gather, so that there will definitely be different replies to those questions from journalists and other people than if they would just type it into ChatGPT, because the curation of the data on that front is certainly influenced by venture capital and the tools they use to guide or steer attention into to their favor and away from the true roots of the space, which are
Oh
kind
yeah.
of,
I think you're being too kind. Even like ChatGPT, honestly, probably knows, you know, fuck all other than, you know, occasional like, you know, traditional news media blips generated by, you know, VC money being thrown at, you know, someone or other or some event or another. Even when it's, you know, citing people who, you know, showed up late with, you know, hype generated on their behalf by questionable sources, even then ChatGPT half the time tends to be like way off. So, you know, the like Cortex and you know, MOCA's crypto art library of the scene's history and roots and, you know, breadth of creativity and you know, artists and everything that, you know, we are sort of bringing to a point of accessibility for the first time ever. Like it's such an obvious I don't want to be hyperbolic, but such an obvious revolution in a sense, in terms of the possible reach of the space, or I don't know, the accessibility of the space, right? Because I certainly spent a lot of my you know, time in crypto art, perpetually like banging my head against the wall in frustration at the fact that you know, most people speaking on the subject you know, seem to be perpetually like oblivious to anything but, you know, the top hype, whereas, you know, I and, you know, you guys and like everyone else who was meaningfully involved in the scene knows countless names that were present and active and involved and are perpetually overlooked by anyone that has deemed themselves taste keepers and tastemakers and gatekeepers um and yeah, I mean, like you said, with all the information that's being gathered into the MOCA library, like, you can now ask questions and have information come up that isn't simply trying to you know just float the already overhyped top 1% even higher, but is actually remembering the artists who build the scene from the ground up and along the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well
and I
said.
think like we want to prove with the MOCA library that this use case, and explain others like why they should like get a Cortex for their community. Like when we take care of the knowledge of the Web3 space and the crypto art space, and we as a community come together and gather knowledge, there are thousands of other communities on the internet who have similar challenges. I mean, think about a big YouTuber who wants to have all their videos transcribed and queryable by their community or by journalists or whatever, like so that you have like a truth, a source of truth for all that data. You could like there are so many use cases which Cortex enables, not just like on the community side, but also like B2B companies where they can use this to accrue knowledge around their processes, internal processes, product specs. Employees go in and out, take the knowledge that they have gathered while working there, take it out again. Like the company loses all the experience, loses all the understanding of the matter. This is basically what we want to harness. Like we want to see if MOCA can, sell this open source stack via a cloud offering into the broader tech world. And by doing that, sustaining the development of this, and also ensuring and would like allow us to remain active and lift up artists the way we always did, by building tools around this stack, which will also be open source as everything that we do basically. So we are trying to, scale out an agent as a service offering that kind of like hits the nerve, allowing us to grow and bootstrap revenues that we can then funnel back into Web3. Because like we definitely see the intersection of AI and Web3 that many others still don't understand. But if you are into both agents and into crypto, you will understand that agents are going to use stablecoin payment rails, X402 standard. They are going to own digital assets. They are going to trade on the internet on these rails that we've been using as humans already for quite some time. And by positioning ourselves with a product that really emerges out of many months, like over almost 2 years of experience in building knowledge graph stuff in particular, I think that is a big plus on the edge where we can, as a team, contribute to the open source AI space, to the local AI space, because also that fight is not going to be easy against like these frontier labs where, I mean, we have great teams.
These frontier extractors.
Yeah, like look at what the Hermes guys did. They basically completely overtook OpenClaw, which is now part of OpenAI, and is, I think, 5x more users than they have. And everything is open source what they are building, and it's cool that we already have like a connection to those guys. And we definitely develop Cortex with Hermes as like one of the primary harnesses in mind. Definitely the one that we recommend.
Guys, we've done a tight 30 here, and I have to run. But I think
we are going
that was
to
pretty good.
share more. Like, I think this was just like a teaser where we try to explain where we are going. But there will be lots more to come, lots more to cover. Like, join the Discord if you want to give this a try. Join our Discord and hit me up, and you can already dive into this. Like, if you are listening to this right now, if you're still here, then you deserve to try this even before we publicly announce it.
Facts. All right, everybody say bye-bye.
Thank you.